Hi, this is Kelly Pangman. I want to tell you just a small story about me and how I became who I am. I have a very, humble beginning, I guess. I'm from the Valley, Syracuse, New York, South Side. Not everyone knows that it's called the Valley. Um, I come from a family. There's four kids, my mom and my dad. But we have a really quite a strong family. My grandparents and my one aunt. We've got strong women in that family. So I have amazing role models. We were raised to respect our elders. We were raised with expectations in a time frame with no electronics, things like that. Summers you were outside. You were outside until the street lights were on. That's kind of when you went home. My grandmothers worked. Not that women didn't work, but a lot of grandmothers were home. So it was kind of odd that mine worked. So in front of me, when I looked, I saw hardworking women, and I saw the men in my family supporting this. Um, we were participating in a lot of things. We played instruments. We were involved in campfire. The boys were in scouting until they didn't want to be. The boys, my one brother hunted. We just had a lot of activities and a lot of support at home. We played sports. So there was just a lot at home and a lot of support. That said, things weren't always the easiest and the best. My dad worked construction. He was laid off every winter. When my mom, when one winter was exceptionally long, let me rephrase that, my mom actually had to go back to work full time. And that made it very difficult. I was in 7th or 8th grade, and all of a sudden I was running the house after school because mom wasn't getting home until 5 or 6. That made things very different, but that was the expectation. So things changed a little bit, but that's fine. That just became who I was. I was in charge of the younger kids. I was in charge of the house. I was in charge of making sure dinner was ready. Life changed. I still played sports. I, had to fit everything else in. Had to fit homework in. Had to fit making sure everybody was where they were supposed to be. And that was the expectation that I pitched in, and that's what I did. Summertime was different. My aunt was a teacher, therefore she was off during the summer. We have a very small family camp up in Pulaski, New York, and all 6 kids were moved up there, and we lived there all summer. Again, that was fantastic, and that's where we went. No electronics, no telephone, no TV, no nothing. So we were kind of out of the city and removed. So it really was great. My dad drank, though. My dad was considered a functioning alcoholic, I guess would be the type of classification. He did not ever touch us, but he was very verbally abusive, so we had to deal with that. The paycheck went home. Later in life, we learned this. The paycheck went to my mom. He never touched it. So we had some things to deal with. That was not easy. A lot of yelling in my house my whole life. Mom, out of frustration now, later in life, that I've learned and can look back. So it wasn't always perfect, but it's part of what made me me. But back to the beginning of my story. I am who I am because of the family that I came from. Blessed to have the family that I have. I'm still with my siblings. We all live within miles of each other. My mom is still here. My dad has passed away. My aunt is still here. I could not be happier with the situation that we have. That's the beginning of me. The role models that I have, the role models that they placed in front of us with the activities that they placed in front of us. I could not be more fortunate or thankful for what they did for us. That's how I became who I am, and it was fantastic. And I'm glad I took advantage of the things that they put in front of us, and learned along the way. That's the beginning of me, Kelly Pangman, Kelly Culligan Pangman.